You will own nothing. You will eat bugs. You will plug in to the metaverse, plug into the matrix, the hive mind. Total control, total domination. This is the big plan of the New World Order. What you're looking at here is ground zero for the zombie apocalypse. This is the base for the Democratic Party. Most of these people don't even know what country they're in anymore. And that's exactly the way the establishment likes it. They don't want you knowing what's going on. They want to censor you. They want to dumb you down. They want to confuse you. But the real end game here is to exterminate everyone, just like it says on the Georgia Guidestone. What's happening here isn't some kind of accident. This is the end game. This is what they want to roll out in every town, in every city in America. This is how they want society. Take a good look. And they're doing it by jacking up the prices, crashing the economy, flooding the streets with drugs, and of course, by not providing people with a proper education. There's no way out. These people are trapped. We're all trapped, being held hostage by Bill Gates, Klaus Schwab, and the New World Order. They're stealing the elections, rigging the elections. And even if your candidate does win, they were pre-selected, they're controlled opposition. It's a prison for your mind, as well as a prison for your body. You're surrounded by death towers, being sprayed like bugs with the chemtrails, force-fed, genetically modified food, laced with pesticides and insecticides. They're dosing the water with fluoride and other poisons. They're releasing bioweapons, injecting people with the death vax. It's an extermination. And soon your community will look like a ghetto. Soon your community will look like mainstream America. And this is being exported worldwide with a dose of authoritarianism. They don't want you speaking out. They don't want you being free. It's a nightmare. We were much better off 30 years ago. Look at the country now. And of course, they're funneling us into the slaughterhouse, into assimilation. Get your brain chip, plug into the metaverse, live in a smart city, stay on your phone, get your mark of the beast, vaccine, passport, soon to be implant. Everybody can see where this is going. It's like a black hole sucking everybody in, because this system is a virus. And freedom and courage is the cure. Humanity has faced this type of evil before. And there's only one resolution. There's only one way out. That's bringing the guillotines. That's holding the Nuremberg trials. That's holding these people accountable for what they've done. Otherwise, this is our future. This is the mainstream in the major cities. This is their base. It's quite literally a zombie apocalypse taking over. And these people already outnumber you. You're trapped. They want your guns. They want to disarm you. They want your homes. They're jacking up the mortgage rates, jacking up the interest rates, jacking up the prices. You might think it's going back to normal just before the elections, but they're going to pull the rug from underneath you. Come November, December, January, the system is totally unsustainable. But this is part of the plan. They want to take everything away from you, Soylent Green style. That's the world that we live in. And unless people continue to fight for freedom, to fight for a future, these people like Bill Gates and Klaus Schwab are going to steal it from you. Imagine having the balls to come on television. You will own nothing. You will eat bugs and you will be happy. Otherwise, they will irradiate you with the death towers. That's the intelligence that's coming through. Millions of people have been affected by this quote-unquote Havana syndrome, directed energy weapon attacks. They tag you on the internet, and then they come after you and make it look like natural causes. Chances are right now you're suffering from something and you think it's you. But in fact, it's the death towers. They cause pain and suffering. They can target you because it's a weapon system, and they can follow you wherever you go because it's a grid and there's no escaping this prison. But you can protect yourself. We recommend that people start making personal shielding, like Ephesians 6:13. The fiery darts of the enemy are in fact these death towers. They knew thousands of years ago this was coming. And it's here. And this is just the beginning of what happens next. You have to protect yourselves. Otherwise, they're going to victimize you. Heart attack, stroke, cancer. You can't call 911. Nobody's coming to help you. Just like nobody's coming to help these people. We're all on our own to a certain extent. And so people have to act accordingly. It's a Cold War. It was right there on the Georgia Guidestones before they blew it up, like 9/11. They don't want the truth out there. They don't want any evidence of what's going on. You might think you're living a good life now. You might think that you may be able to survive what's coming comfortably. But we can tell you that whatever's coming is going to be worse than you can imagine. What you're planning has already been accounted for. The supercomputers running this extermination program know what you're thinking. They know what you're planning. They're 10 moves ahead of you. This is your future, unless you really start preparing for what you're up against. Essentially, we're up against Skynet, cyborgs, and much more. We think it's the year 2022, but the technology is much more advanced than that. But even if you don't subscribe to end times literature, it's clear what's happening out there. They want to steal everything away from you. Your freedom, your property, your lives. It's a war. This system has declared war on you. Whether you like it or not, whether you want to accept that or not, that's the reason why things are the way they are. And they're going to keep you sedated, preoccupied, anything, so that you don't organize and fight back. And that's all there's left to do. They're stealing the elections. There's no voting our way out of this tyranny. They won't stop until they assimilate you like the Borg. And for many people, it's too late. For all these people that took the vaccines, it's too late. There's no helping them. There's no telling what they've been injected with, but by looking at the numbers, it's some kind of poison. That means only about 20% of humanity is left. But we're all surrounded by death towers and more. They've weaponized consumer electronics, airplanes, satellites / hot air balloons, depending if you're a flat earther or something else. But they're shooting people with radiation from all directions, even from underground. This isn't some kind of theory, it's a fact. Whether you realize that or not is another story. Most people don't even know what EMF is, how these weapons work. But right now, humanity on the surface is being exterminated while the elite prepare to go underground. They're hoarding all the food and supplies that they can. That's the reset. They're going to exterminate everything on the surface. The date has been picked. The countdown has begun. We don't know when the clock will strike midnight, but when it does, they're going to crank up the radiation. That's why they've positioned these death towers everywhere. It's like a game of chess. It's like checkmate, pretty much. Unless people realize what's going on. We fully expect that by the end of the year, they're going to engineer another 2008 type of crisis. And that's when the pressure is really going to start hitting another 10 or 20% of the people out there. And little by little, it's just going to get worse. Emergency after emergency, crisis after crisis. And that way they'll control you until the very end. People have to rise up now. If they're going to survive, if humanity is going to survive, we have to stop fighting over petty politics. None of these people on television are here to help you. None of them will save you. None of them are on your side. It's just us and them. Till the next time, if you're listening to this, you are the resistance.